Hi, good morning. My name is Denise. I'm alcoholic. Can you hear me? Yeah, great. I have experience practicing these steps out of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous with the help of a Big Book Step Study sponsor, a very patient and loving higher power. I am currently working on my amends and practicing steps 10, 11, and 12 on a daily basis. Thank you, Jeff, for asking me this morning. So I was doing a lot of praying on my way here because you saw I was late. I was seeking God's help the whole way. And, it says no later vicissitude. And in my book, that says, unexpected event. And there was a funeral today. I'm like, golly, in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'll just get there and I'll park in the parking lot and I'll run into the meeting and I'll be on time. And then I'm like, oh no, it's different. All right, this is different. Okay. Now I have to find a parking space. Okay. And then I saw somebody else from the meeting and I'm like, hi. And I'm like, I'll be okay. You make a connection with somebody else. I'm like, okay, I'll be okay. And the other thought was, the meeting will go on whether I make it or not. Right? Isn't that the truth, right? I'm really glad to be here this morning. So step 11 sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with our higher power. So I'll just tell you that it's taken me a long time to develop a conscious contact with my higher power. I was trying to think about this on the ride over here. I think I'm about 10 years past my 5th step, and I'm just now feeling like I might have an 11th step in place a little bit better than I did before. So what I'm talking about today is my experience getting up to this point and what I'm doing today. So a little bit about me. So I was raised in my household. My parents were both Catholic, but we didn't have a real connection to God. There was not a lot of spirituality in my home. There was the practice of going to church on Sundays, and for me, I did not feel the presence of God in church. That was for me. I didn't feel the connection. There wasn't any real connection to a God of my understanding. I was actually, I was kind of afraid of the priests, I was afraid of them. But that was just me, They were really nice guys. They were really nice people. And they helped a lot of people in my community, and I knew that. In fact, my mother went to the priest, Father Ryan. My last name is Ryan, no connection. But my mother went to Father Ryan when my dad needed to get sober. So she sought out his help, and he did help my dad. He connected my dad with people in AA, and so I knew that these guys, these priests, were regular folks and nice guys, but I didn't feel any connection to God in the church that. So I'll just say that I sought other things. I sought fun and games. I sought, wherever the party was. That's what, I was seeking relief from my alcoholism and I didn't know it. And I was always seeking relief from my alcoholism. And whether that was, hanging out with people who were driving fast cars, or, people, so it was always, I couldn't be in a bit of an adrenaline junkie. That's, I like it like that. I like, the being amped up and, getting right out there and experiencing things firsthand up front. So I sought that kind of attachment, if you will. So I sought out people who were living like that. And it didn't bring me any closer to a higher power. It just brought me, it brought me the misfortunes, the things that happen when you drink, and the things that go along with all of that, My disease is always on the prowl or the lookout for evidence to prove to me that I suck. So it's not hard to find that. You know what I mean? My disease is always like, oh, you don't measure, yeah, you're not that good. That's how it talks. It's like, geez, shut up. It's like, it's full of negativity, So without God's help, I was under the influence of my thinking for all those years, even in sobriety, early sobriety, Okay, so we'll just fast forward. You don't need to hear all that blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so here I am in AA, right? And I don't have any connection with a God of my own understanding. I can see God working in the fellowship, and I can see God in everybody else's life, but I don't have one for myself. So my sponsor, God love her, my first sponsor, Meg, wonderful woman, very, very quiet. She practically spoke in a whisper, okay? Interesting how God joined me with someone like that, right? So I really had to what'd she say, I really had to pay attention, to be on my toes. My friend Meg, she said to me, why don't you just, get on your knees in the morning and say help, and if you don't drink for that day, get on your knees at the end of the day and say thank you. Very simple instructions, really nice introduction to this 11th step for me. That was really nice. That was gentle. That was something that I thought I could do. So I agreed. I'm like, I'm so crazy. I agreed. Yeah, all right, I'll try that. We'll see if that works. I'm like, I am such a kid. I'm such a punk. I'm like, all right, we'll see if that works, I'm attracted to this woman because she's got so much peace, but, I don't attribute that to what she's doing or to God, but all right, I'll try it, really, I got sober, I was 32. It's not like I was a little kid, but I still had that in me, that arrogance, that obstinance, that yeah, maybe, we'll see. The self-will, my head always telling me, I know better. I can figure this out. I don't need anyone's help. Those are such lies. Thank God you're all here this morning. I need you guys here. This meeting has been instrumental in my recovery. I've been a member of this Saturday morning group for a long time, as long as I've lived in Worcester, which is almost 17 years now. So I've been coming to this meeting for a really long time. And if it wasn't for everyone here every Saturday morning helping me, I don't know where I'd be, So doing all this work, and starting to get a relationship, getting sober, getting a small relationship with a higher power, it's, for me, my progress is really small, and it's really slow and steady. It's incremental. It builds on each thing that I do. And I think that's exactly how a process works. It's like, step 1, step 2, A, B, C. It's not, I could never get here to this place today without doing everything I did before now. I needed to do all that stuff. For me, this whole way of living now, this whole recovery, it's about my life. It's about living differently. It's tangible. It's real. It's not something I just read about and then come back to later. It's something that I do. It's an action. I do this work every day. It doesn't even feel like work. I practice these principles in all of my affairs, everywhere, every day. And it's become, it is who I am. It's so second nature that a lot of the time I don't realize that I'm just doing it. It's just what I do today. So, I did all the steps necessary to get up to step 11. And getting up to step 11, again, it's been a process. It didn't start out as this, it didn't start out to where it is today. I've been able to build on my prayer and meditation through listening to other people and taking suggestions. I no longer think I know best. I no longer think it's only my way or the highway. I'm open. That's what the 11th step has afforded me. It's afforded me a willingness to listen and an openness to try things that are unfamiliar to me. I need a lot of God in my life. I'm of the variety. I'm the alcoholic who suffers from a nervous disposition. So I need something to combat that with. I'm restless, irritable, and discontented. That's in me. And the nervous disposition can be activated by anything. Can come on me at any time, a nervous disposition. What's coming to me is I want to tell you about what happened this morning. It's more about 10 and 11. It's sort of like Tlevin. I mean, they're like lumped together, Tlevin, What happened this morning is, so my youngest boy has asthma. So he's been using, not we, because I don't have asthma, he's been using his inhalers all this week. So I heard him coughing through the night, and I heard him coughing this morning, and he's almost 12, and he feels that he's very grown up and independent now, and he doesn't need me to mommy him or try to tell him what to do. So he's going to a sleepover today, and at that home there's a beautiful husky dog, and so so in my mind I'm like, okay, he needs to continue to do the inhalers, logical things. We're going to do that, right? So I got afraid this morning when I came down to talk to him about that. The fear had kicked in before I came down the stairs. So when I went to talk to him about the situation, I was like in his face. I wasn't, it wasn't that gentle, laid-back kind of gal I can be. It was more the, in-your-face type of gal that I can be, and I'm like, and you need a blah, 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 blah. And he's like, and he's sitting on the couch, and he's like, he's making faces at me, and I'm like, why isn't this going the way I think it should, right? So I had to drive my oldest boy he's at North High this morning at an AP chemistry. He has an AP chemistry day there. He's has a class Saturday morning today. So I had to drive him there. And I was thinking about the conversation I had with my younger son, and what happened was God goes, you need to fix that when you get home. You need to talk to him and apologize, which I did. I was able to do that. I was able to apologize and tell him what I said to my son was, this is what I actually said to him. When I get scared, Zachary, I can say some goofy things. And I said, this is a very interesting time for you and I, Zachary, because you're gaining some independence and you're growing from me, and it's scaring me. And I'm not ready to let go. And he was like, oh, Mom, I'm always going to be your boy. They're so cute, aren't they? I'm always going to be your boy. I'm like, all right, thank you. And he did the inhalers. So, win for everybody, right? So I'm driving my oldest boy to this AP chemistry day at North High, and we're running a bit late. It's a defect of mine. It's bad. I'm delusional about time. I hope I get better about that someday. So we're driving to North, and he's looking at, he had to be there for 8 o'clock, and it's 7:57. And I said to him, don't worry about it. We'll be there on time. And he goes, you are so delusional about time, because he hears me saying that all the time. He's like, we're not going to be there on time. I said, we'll be there. Don't worry about it, Henry. And then I stopped and I said, you know what? We could say a whole bunch of things right in this moment that would be not nice and mean to each other, but that's not going to make us get there on time. I said, how about if we just skip all that and don't say any of that? That's not me. I want you to know that's not me. That's from having conscious contact with God. Those words, the two examples I just gave you just happened a few hours ago. That's God working in my life only through constant practice, constant practice, I want to get better at my life. I don't want to continue to try to run the show. I know what happens when I try to run the show. I have volumes, I have notebooks full of me trying to run the show. And it never comes out the way I want. Never. The actors don't read the lines correctly. The lighting is not good. I didn't get a big enough part. So it just doesn't, it never comes out good. So when I do, so step 11, suggest prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation. This is a discipline. I'm a very undisciplined person, or at least I was. Now I really, because of this work, I really appreciate structure in my life. In fact, when it's unstructured and I don't have plans, I don't do so well. I need to have a direction. I need to have, a task. I need God to use me all the time. I need to get outside of myself all the time. I didn't know any of that before doing this work. I would have told you my solutions were lots of different things, outside things, jobs, relationships, cars, trips, whatever, houses, the right last name, whatever, those things I thought were the thing that was going to give me the peace and serenity that God has provided for me through doing this work, sticking to the practices that I know work really well. My 11th step has evolved into something that is the most incredible part of my day is my 11th step. That's the most, and it's so peaceful, it's so quiet. It brings me so much joy. I have so much peace in being quiet. And that's pretty remarkable for me. So meditation in my dictionary says continue or extended thought, reflection, or contemplation. So, to meditate, so to be quiet, to think about God. When I'm meditating, I'm thinking what I say are a few things: peace, and I just meditate on that word for a long time, and love. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm meditating: is peace and love. That's what I want to do. I want to be peaceful, and I want to bring love wherever I am. To me, that's where God lives. For me, is in those things. I used to get all hung up on the idea of prayer meditation, that it needed to be a certain thing or a certain way. I have found out that is not true. That's my disease, trying to distract me, to keep me from trying to do this, to seek God. That my disease is trying to isolate me. It does not want me to get well. So it's going to try to keep me away from doing anything that's going to get me closer to God. So it says here, we believe we can make some definite and valuable suggestions. In my dictionary, valuable is great use. So they're telling me that this 11th step is going to be of great use to me in my life. And I need that. I need something that I can really use, It says that we are using it constantly. And in my dictionary, constantly is defined without pause or let up. Constant, without pause or let up. I can be doing it anytime, all the time. And nobody even needs to know that or see that, When we retire at night, we constructively review our day. Constructively. So I need to look at it, not only the things that I didn't do so well, but the things that I did do well. Here's an opportunity for me to look at, where did I contribute to my day? Where was I, being altruistic? Where was I extending my hand to another person without seeking anything in return? What did I do to add to the situation? That's my consciousness has been raised to that kind of thinking, that level, It's above me, and that's where I want to be. I want to be closer to God. It's above me. It's outside of me. Yeah, I'm looking at the things that, I'm doing or not doing, but that's only because, I'm in human form. I'm not God. I walk around on earth, but I'm an agent of God. I'm an agent, Sometimes I'm a secret agent. People don't even know it, I'm a secret agent, bringing God wherever I go. It's so cool if you think about it that way, right? We're dressed up like this, but, we're all secret agents, It's awesome, Yeah, it's awesome. Were we kind and loving toward all? What could we have done better? What could we have done better is, that's where the growth is for me. What could I have done better? That's where I'm seeking God. God, show me how I can do it better. My life. How can I do your will better? How can I, remove myself from this equation, and just do your will? Yeah, I'm a human being, don't get me wrong. I still want things to go my way. It's not all, harps and, ice cream sundaes. It's not like that every single day. But a lot of the time during my day, it is like that. It is like that, And I'm so blessed when I feel like I can actually see that, bearing witness to God's hand and everything. And I'm sort of like, I'm there, but I'm just observing it. It's so awesome. It's so great. We must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection, for that would diminish our usefulness to others, right? Because that's just going to bring me down, right? If I make this tally sheet and it's all, in the black, I don't even know how to do that because I'm not an accountant, but if it's all gross, if it's all bad, morbid reflection, I'm going to be like, why even bother, right? Well, that's not the truth. After making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. I ask God to forgive me. I am human. I still personalize other drivers when they don't use their blinkers. Those kind of things just send me, man. I'm in my car, dude, really? Yeah, they don't hear that, but they could feel that energy. They could feel that, And I have to remember that my car is a weapon. I have to stay present, man. I have to stay conscious of what I'm thinking. I can't afford to slip into that negative kind of thinking and blame others for how I'm feeling, or hold them, responsible for what's happening in my day, On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. Now we got a brand new day, right? We got a brand new day. We got another opportunity to get out there and do it again. Yay! Right? We consider our plans for the day. I'm not planning anything. I'm just considering what I might like to see happen in my day, but, whatever, right? Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance, for after all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. That's a promise in here. That's the 11th-step promise, Our thinking, will be on a higher plane when it's cleared of wrong motives. I'm not so much concerned with, how am I going to get things, grabbing everything. Now it's more about what can I contribute, what can I add, where can I be of service. In thinking about a day, we may face indecision. It doesn't so much happen to me when I'm thinking about my day. It's when I'm in my day that I might face indecision. It's like, should I say that or should I not say anything? And that's in the moment when I need God the most, Because I still think that I should be saying a lot of things out loud, and that's not the truth. The truth is I need to keep those things to myself. No one's asking me. Right. Here we ask God for an inspiration, intuitive thought, or a decision. We relax and take it easy. Right? If I can just relax about the circumstances, it is easy. And it's easier for everyone involved when I can just relax. I don't need to figure it all out for all of you. I just need to take it easy, right? Just take it easy. It doesn't mean, that I don't participate in my life. See, for me, I have extreme thinking. I don't know about anybody else. Extreme thinking. It's either this or it's this, So I'm trying to stay right in the middle with things, and I need God's help to do that all the time. We're often surprised how the right answers come after we have tried this for a while. It's another promise, right? The right answers will come after we've tried it for a while. That's a gift, it's practicing it. I'm not great at it every single moment of every single day, and that's okay. But my consciousness has been raised to a place where I know that I'm taking my will back. And I know I'm going to do something, There's lots of promises. There's lots of directions in the 11th step. I really appreciate that. There's a lot of promises here in the 11th step. It's a willingness to try, to seek God. My higher power has become really personal to me. I feel like, my higher power has a really good plan for me. It's all taken care of. Like this day is all already taken care of. I don't need to worry about any of it. I just need to show up and participate in my day, to contribute, to add to it, to see what I can do. Right, being still inexperienced and having just made conscious contact with God, it's not probable that we're going to be inspired at all times. It's not, it's not every single minute of every single day. It's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. I'm not inspired at every single minute of every day to seek God in everything, and that's okay. If I thought I had God all sewed up, I wouldn't seek anything anymore. We usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. That's a direction for me. I need lots of help from God. I still think I know what people think, and I still react to what I think they think. So yes, I do find myself in some, awkward situations because I later find out they weren't thinking anything at all. And then I'm always so surprised, always really surprised. As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful. Pause, a period of inaction. To pause. I was recently at an anniversary meeting where the speaker said this is what she tries to live by today: to pause, to pray, and to proceed. Like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Pause, pray, and proceed. I think I can do that. I love it. It's easy to remember too, right? Pause, pray, and proceed. Yeah, it's a great code to live by. And I'm trying to do that all the time now, to not get, to not get bogged down in what I'm thinking and more to see what God's will is in every area of my life. We're then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decision. These things here are things that I need to watch out for: excitement, fear, anger, worry, or self-pity. Those are pitfalls for me. If I get too excited about something, I'm likely to, blurt out whatever I'm thinking. If I'm really, really afraid, if I feel threatened on any level, emotionally, spiritually, financial, whatever, I'm likely to react to that. You know, my anger is usually a result of my fear, whatever's going on for me, you know, whatever I'm afraid of. I get really, I can get angry in a second. It's much more comfortable for me to be angry than to be afraid. Worry, right? Worry, right? That's self-centered fear. Worried, oh, poor me, oh, it's not gonna work out, oh. Right? What is that? That's craziness. That's my disease preying on my mind. My disease likes to play tricks on me all the time. It fills me up with lots of insane thoughts, ideas, and then it wants me to act on those. You know, I need to watch out for these things, these pitfalls of self-pity, because I will make a foolish decision based on one of these emotions. A foolish decision. Foolish decisions for me are something like, they don't have to be extreme either, friends. Well, I'm not talking the extremes. You know, I'm talking things like to eat a whole bag of chips all by myself. That's a foolish decision on my part. You know, to drive really close to somebody who just cut me off. That's a foolish decision. That's a really foolish decision. I don't know where they're at. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, you see, when I'm making those foolish decisions, I have shut the door on God, and I think I know, and I don't know anything. And then I'm like a torpedo, and I'm just looking for a target. And it's not good. It's not good. I need God all the time. I need this practice of prayer and meditation. I've been practicing a lot of meditation during my workouts now, and it's really helping me to stay focused on the moment, to be 100% present right there, right then. It gives us clarity that, you know, is really remarkable. And I can tell when I've lost the meditation, because I'll fall over while I'm trying to do something, you know, maybe a little yoga, and then I'll just fall out because I've lost it in my head. It went, you know, I went somewhere else. My disease is always trying to sneak in there. It sees a little crack. It sees the door has opened a little bit, and it's trying to invade, and it's trying to ruin my peace and serenity. That's its job. But God, prayer and meditation, God, you know, God is the answer to all of my problems, you know. I don't really have any problems to talk about today. I really don't. You know, I don't have any problems. You know, things are going really well, you know. I just have complaints. Very different. And nobody wants to hear that today, let me tell you. They're like, yeah, whatever, you know. But, you know, it's a remarkable way to live. It's a remarkable way to live. And the gift of to practice this, the gift is I feel good. I feel good. I feel at peace. I'm not in conflict with anybody or anything, you know. That's a nice way to feel, you know. That's good. It's good. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I can do things that, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do before. What are those things? I can speak honestly to somebody. I can stay present in an uncomfortable situation, an uncomfortable moment. That's only through practicing this, being close to God of my understanding. You know, meditation, some practices, you know, I read Around the Year with Emmett Fox almost every day. I read The Language of Letting Go, Courage to Change. I mean, there's a lot of great things out there. You know, Stillness Speaks, Eckhart Tolle. There's a lot of great things to help me to combat this mental illness that I have. I need to quiet down. That's all I have found out, is I really need to quiet down. And not in a way where I'm trying to stuff all the clothes in the hamper and sit on top of it, because that never worked, you know. That's like Jack in the Box. Boom, you know, like that never worked. No. I need to be able to quiet down and really listen to what God is trying to say to me. And God wants me to live a happy, full life. I mean, please don't misunderstand. My life is full. It's wicked busy, and it's awesome. It's great. It's great. It's way better than I ever thought it was going to be. And I feel really blessed to be able to practice this on a daily basis. So wherever you are in your process, please keep moving forward. We'd love to hear from you. That's it for me. Thanks.